Many people like SUVs because they look cool and are enjoyable to drive, more so than sedans, station wagons, and hatchbacks. However, not everyone can buy a brand new SUV because they can be expensive. So many folks choose to buy used SUVs because they cost less. Buying a used SUV is okay, but you gotta be careful. Some used SUVs can have engine problems and fixing them can be costly. Here's a list of used SUVs with engine issues that you might want to stay away from. Actually, strike that. You don't want to just stay away from these SUVs, you want to run away from them, because they are money-deleting scrap metal on 4 wheels. Number 1. 2010 Ford Expedition. This engine, the 5.4 and the 5.43 valve, is a real problem. Some of their common problems include spark plugs blowing out, threads getting damaged, and the spark plugs getting stuck because of carbon buildup. Over the years, there's a common mistake people make. They think these issues won't affect them, so they buy one they find on Facebook Marketplace hoping to get lucky, but it usually ends in disaster. The engine can fail, costing around $7 grand to fix. I want to stress that there are hardly any good ones out there. Some might have had an oil change, making the inside clean, but it's still a used vehicle. You can't guarantee how much longer it'll last. This engine ranks as one of the worst engines ever, second only to the Northstar V8. To replace the engine can cost $7 grand a pop. These engines commonly suffer from problems with cam phasers, timing change, and oil pressure, which often lead to catastrophic failures. People tend to avoid fixing these issues, driving the vehicle until the timing chain or cam phaser breaks, causing extensive damage. Trust me guys, you do not want the financial devastation this engine causes. Some couples were even brought to tears when they couldn't afford the expensive repairs. Don't be the next one in this situation. Please take my advice seriously and avoid buying vehicles with these engines. Any model from the 2004 to 2010 Ford Expedition has this engine, as well as the Excursion and the Ford F-150. Number 2. 2012 Chevy Traverse. I'm just gonna say this straight guys, don't consider buying the Chevy Traverse, GMC Acadia, or Buick Enclave. They all have serious problems since they use all the same 3.6 V6. These SUVs frequently experience electrical failures in various parts like the dashboard, transmission, and power windows. The electrical components they use are of low quality and tend to fail. Additionally, their engines, particularly the Chevy 3.6, have a bad reputation. These engines are found in different General Motor vehicles like the Cadillacs, Buicks, and Chevys. They often develop timing chain issues, leading to costly repairs. Fixing this problem requires removing the engine and can cost thousands of dollars. Steering rack problems are common too. Many drivers have complained about strange steering behavior or leaks from the steering rack. Transmission issues such as problems with solenoids or slipping gears are also prevalent. It's worth noting that these transmissions can't be rebuilt in many shops, making repairs expensive. Of course, you could buy one that would work perfectly fine, but overall, based on repeated negative experiences, I strongly advise against buying any of these 3 SUVs, Traverse, Acadia, or Enclave. Number 3. 2012 Subaru Forester. I must admit, Subaru owners really love their cars, but it's tough to stay committed to a product that might break down and need an expensive engine replacement, costing more than $8,000. This compact SUV comes with 2 engine options, one with 170 horsepower and another with 224 horsepower. Some people who own Subaru Foresters had issues with their engines using up oil, even though there were no oil leaks. They had to keep adding oil almost every time they drove. Another common problem that 2012 Forester owners faced was their check engine light turning on because their catalytic converter wasn't working well. This issue could even make the car fail an emissions test required by the state. The 2012 Subaru Forester is the 4th most likely car to need an engine rebuild. Typically, this happens when the car has been driven between 81,000 and 129,000 miles. Before we get on to the next one, a lot of you guys watching still aren't subscribed. Come on, drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. Number 4. 2013 Kia Sorento. When you buy a new car, you expect it to work well without any big problems. However, some people who owned a Kia Sorento from the years 2011 to 2015 had a tough time because their SUVs had some serious engine issues. Out of those 5 years, the 2013 model was the worst, especially the ones with a specific type of 2.4-liter 4-cylinder engine that used direct injection. Some 2013 Kia Sorento drivers also had trouble with the vehicle suspension, like alignment issues, bad ball joints, and problems with wheel balance. Kia even admitted there was a problem. They recalled certain Sorento cars made between 2012 and 2014 because there were mistakes made when building the engines. These mistakes could make the engine parts wear out too quickly, which could cause the engine to stop working suddenly and increase the chance of a crash. The 2012 Sorento had similar problems, including electronic issues like frozen infotainment systems and unreliable navigation systems. However, the good news for the 2012 Sorento is that the major engine problems were not as common as the 2013 version. Still, there were some minor engine problems like oil leaks and other annoying issues. When you're buying a used car, there's always some risk involved, so it's wise to start your research by looking at models that have a good reputation for lasting a long time. Number 5. 2015 Volvo XC60. In 2015, Volvo made some changes to its popular XC60 crossover car. They updated the engine it uses. Some of the older engines, like the 3.2-liter and the turbocharged 3-liter ones, still powered the all-wheel drive models. But they also introduced new 4-cylinder engines for the front-wheel drive models. In the same year, 2015, people who owned the Volvo XC60 reported various problems with the car's engine. Some said that coolant was leaking into the transmission. However, the most common and serious issue was with the fuel pump. Many owners experienced their fuel pump suddenly failing, and it was often unexpected. Their cars didn't show any signs of a problem before breaking down. The 2010 Volvo XC60 is considered the worst choice to buy. It has the highest number of reported problems, and fixing these issues can be very expensive. The 2010 model in general has a faulty engine that causes a lot of trouble, along with some interior accessory defects. For the 2019 Volvo XC60, there are problems with the wheels. They have a tendency to either fall off or make loud, strange drumming noises while driving. Number 6. 2013 Hyundai Santa Fe. The Hyundai Santa Fe used to be a great choice for many people because it was affordable and came with lots of good features. But in the past few years, there have been some serious problems with it. Some people are worried about how reliable it is. No car is perfect, but the 2013 Hyundai Santa Fe seems to have engine problems. And it's really important to choose the right year of the Hyundai Santa Fe to avoid problems. In the year 2020, Hyundai had to pay a big fine because they didn't handle a recall properly. The recall was about issues with the engines in the 2013 and 2014 Santa Fe Sport models. Metal pieces in the engine could wear out the bearings and could make the engine stop working. Besides that, some Santa Fe owners had problems with their engine stalling or not starting because of broken sensor in the 2013 models. On average, these engine problems started happening between 74,000 and 100,000 miles of driving. Earlier models such as the 2018 and 2019 models also have their fair share of problems. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has received 30 official complaints about the 2018 Santa Fe, and many of them are about the engine. These issues started in May 2018, right after the car was sold in dealerships, and they continued until 2020. The 2019 Santa Fe has even more complaints, 55 in total, with 16 of them related to the engine. Many of these problems happened shortly after people bought the car. Almost all of these complaints were made within a year of the 2019 model being released. There are also 17 other complaints about the 2019 Santa Fe, but they were not well defined. They seem to involve problems with the engine and electrical systems to make the engine idle, hesitate, or shut off unexpectedly. Number 7. 2013 BMW X3. This big German car company hasn't always made cars that are safe and dependable. When we talk about the BMW X3, it's had problems for many years and have taken away from BMW's overall success. The biggest issue with the BMW X3 is its engine. The 2013 BMW X3 had the most complaints. It's considered the worst model year because the problems were really bad. These issues started early, and people had to get their cars fixed when they didn't have many miles on them. The most common problem with the 2013 model is the engine suddenly stopping while you're driving. Fixing these issues costs an average of $6,500 and often require a complete engine rebuild or replacement. This usually happened around 70,000 miles. Some people also had to replace the high-pressure fuel pump, and the car had trouble going into certain settings after being restarted. But things have improved since the bad year 2013 for the BMW X3, so even if you had to buy a used X3, you might end up spending a lot of money on expensive repairs, which adds to the overall cost of owning this vehicle. Thanks for watching, drop a like and subscribe to the channel, it really helps me out. Have a wonderful day and I'll see you in the next one.